God.
Shalom. Call Haloyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Bakta Yahweh, Bakta Yahweh Shai, Bakta Rachak Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Shalom, and double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwatha, the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video as we see right there. It's a video showing like there was approximately, give or take, more or less 3,000 earthquakes in Iceland in like a 48-hour window, so over a 2-day period. So it's approximately about 1,500 earthquakes a day. And these are clearly the end times. Just more signs, just more recorded evidence. Of the perilous times that we are entering into, because the Most High, as the title of this video is, the Lord is officially wrapping this thing up. So when we'll start here. Good, plain prophetic scriptures for the end times. Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And we know, all of the battling and all of the warring and fighting going on right now in the Middle East, so-called Middle East, between Russia, Ukraine, and then now the least of the flock drawing out all the other nations, gathering the Most High's mustering the host of the battle for World War III. With the little hats, and this whole Hamas situation and Hezbollah, right? And America and the prime minister of the little hats, they said that there's not going to be a ceasefire. So if there's not going to be a ceasefire and they're dominating, then the people they're dominating, allies, are going to step out, right? And it's going to be the least of the flock drawing them out. So those are those wars and rumors of wars. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these things must occur first, but the end is coming, but it's not yet, because there's a few more key things that must occur before. While that's happening, there's going to be some other things that's occurring at the same time, like Jacob's trouble and the tribulation of that digital device that goes to your right hand, where you have to buy and sell. So all these things are overlapping and happening at the same time. It says in verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And we're seeing that's happening right now, right before our very eyes. Prophecies are jumping off the pages, trampolining off the pages, right? So it says, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And that's the key right there. Over there in Iceland, there's not there hasn't been earthquakes over there hitting like that, I'm not even sure, I got to do the research of the last time an earthquake has happened over there, if at all, but there's volcanic activity over there as well. And they're evacuating Iceland over there in that region in an emergency evacuation, because they fear that the volcano, will erupt over there as well. So this is clearly, it's extremely plain now to the carnal eye, and carnal mind to see. And those women in that video, they were looking terrified and nervous and all humble, right? Because the Most High is about to break the pride off of these people in the earth, especially these women that has been living carelessly and being proud and arrogant and being harlots in the city, right? And dragging men, meaning treating men any kind of way that they see fit, because they've been taught by the serpent to be however they want. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. In verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Now all these people want to be looking all terrified and looking all innocent and so fearful, and wanting sympathy and empathy, but they're not going to receive that because let's just get that real quick. And these are the beginning of sorrows, because while they had yet liberty to repent, they were proud and arrogant. Now, there every man and woman will receive of the works of their own actions. So that's why Scripture say, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." So Micah 7:10. Then she that is mine enemy, and through the feminist movement, women have become the enemy of men. The whole battle of the sexes and the whole gender wars, nonsense. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. These feminist supremacists. I say that there's nothing worse. The only thing worse, what the next worst thing after a so-called white supremacist is a what? A feminist supremacist. So it says, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. So the woman is our enemy. All, not every, majority of women are very wicked, because it says there's little wickedness, but to the wickedness of a woman. And so these women are about to receive judgment. And I made a video a while back too saying the fall of E is the fall of women, because women have been put on a pedestal by the so-called white man, which is the Ishtar, Semiramis, the queen of heaven, the queen of woman, the queen of heaven worship, the woman worshiping that the Esau Edomites have put in place. And so as he's falling, she's about to fall too, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So we know the kingdom of us, as I say this in the spirit, revealed unto me is like, when you break that precept down, is we know that the kingdom of heaven, it will never end, a world without end. The kingdom of heaven. So what ends? The heathen nations, their kingdoms and their rulerships, because the heathen nations, they must get their rulerships out the way. We must suffer them and allow them to be able to get their rulerships out the way. And so every time a heathen nation rulership ends, their kingdom ends, that's a good thing, because we're that much closer to the kingdom of heaven. So in the last heathen rulership ever and the kingdom ever is going to be the Esau Edomites, the so-called white race. So better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. So, we're being, because pride is the beginning of pride is when one departed from his maker. So when you're being patient, you're being in a house of mourning, and you're suffering patiently these heathen nations' rulership and suffering. And if you're proud, you depart from your maker and you go live a riotous life with the heathen in Babylon the Great, America, and with the heathen, and you're going to be destroyed. So I'd rather, like I tell people, I'd rather mortgage my present life right now and for the eternal future, for my life for eternity in the future, right? Suffer now. And then instead of mortgaging my future for temporary happiness, success, so-called happiness in this, which is carnal happiness in this, degenerate society. So from there we'll get, better is the patient in spirit than the proud in spirit, because if you're proud, you're going to go do whatever you want. But if you're patient, you're humble, and you're suffering because you have wisdom and you understand why you must suffer things, because this is not our kingdom. Because what did the Messiah say? If this was my kingdom, my servants would fight. So we must suffer and be and suffer, hate until everlasting peace is ushered in by the Father of Peace. That's one of the Messiah's nicknames, right? So Revelations 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So we're in captivity here in Babylon the Great. We were led into captivity on those slave ships. And then the same people that did that, they're going to go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. The modern day sword is the gun, and we're killed and destroyed continuously with the police brutality, etc. Right? It says here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So patient, long suffering, and then our faith. Through our faith, is going to show that patience by just suffering for this season. And they teach us that we must forgive and forget about slavery, but where's the forgiveness going on right now in the Middle East with the little hats and Hamas? So Matthew 5 and 7, they say they're the people of the Lord. Well, they're not. Are they exercising this right here? Matthew chapter 5 and verse 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. So they're saying there will not be a ceasefire. The president of the Israelis, he said there will not be a ceasefire, and Biden echoed that same sentiment. So if they proudly say there will not be a ceasefire, then what does that mean? That they're being merciless and not merciful. So this is in red, this is the Messiah speaking. So by their merits and their words and actions, will they receive mercy, or will they obtain mercy, or will they obtain destruction for their lack of mercy? They exposing themselves, day by day. So Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. The vision means the prophecies. Everyone was saying, the visions have been on, the Most High has had the prophecies on idle mode, not doing anything for so long, till now the people in their pride and their false indoctrination by the serpent, they even believe that the Most High doesn't even exist and that they can do whatever they want. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, people are not judged immediately anymore by the law when they transgress it, so they think that it's okay. So it's ever in their heart and mind and their spirit and soul to be wicked. But now they're starting to realize it, like those women in that video. Now they looking all shocked when they were getting hit by multiple earthquakes, and every time they feel it, that shock, they'll grab onto something and look surprised, right? Yeah, but they've been wicked, and they don't understand that this is the judgment coming down, and the Most High is wrapping this place up, because the Most High has had enough of this filth that's been polluting his earth that he created. Isaiah 14 and verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and that's Joe Biden. He's the modern day king of modern day Babylon the Great America, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased, because Babylon the Great America, it's a bunch of interlocked cities. There's no walls or anything. It's one big city basically, but then they call it states as well, and cities within those states, but it's all one big city. And the chief golden city is New York. And their defense city is Washington, D.C. Verse 5. The Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai hath broken the staff of the wicked. So we know who the wicked is in the earth. There's wicked people and wicked nations. The heathen, they're wicked, but there's the leader, the head wicked, and that's the so-called white race, the Edomites. And the scepter of the rulers. And they're rulers with the United Nations, EU, NATO, So, but starting with the head of that snake, which is Babylon the Great. Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, meaning no ceasefire. And that's their mentality all the time, even, beginning with the Israelites. Has there been a ceasefire amongst us? They secretly shoot at the perfect, which are the Israelites, because the law is perfect. We have the perfect commandments. We're the nation of the perfection of the Most High's laws. So they plot against us with a continual stroke through their words, through the media, and then, and the brainwashing of the nations, making them think that we're are the bad guys, and then also destroying us physically, right? And then also all the nations are awakening to the fact that they're being destroyed with that same continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Because one of the descriptions of Esau, he's a savage. He's a ferocious. He's a ferocious spirit, and to proudly say that there will not be a ceasefire when innocent women or children are being caught up in those as collateral damage. It's a very ferocious thing. Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet when they're taken down. They break forth into singing, because when they're brought down, everyone is going to rejoice. Even the air, the trees, the sun, the moon, everything, and because everything exists, everything is alive. The trees and everything, the animals, because everything is in mourning right now. They're going to break forth into singing because that oppressor has finally ceased, the great oppressor. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, that's the Israelites, so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, so-called white race, Esau, Edom, the people mourn. The earth is in mourning right now because there is worldwide protest right now, never before seen in the history of earth. Another end time sign. The people are in mourning, and they're protesting all of the events going on right now in the Middle East. The people are in mourning, and then even the animals are going to rejoice. Let's see. Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High Power, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So since he has not hated blood, blood will pursue him. So that's that continual stroke, beginning with the Israelites, because that's who he chiefly hates. Because remember 9/11, their anger for the Israelites never stopped. Like that was the so-called hate and anger that they had for 9/11 with the Arabs. That ceased pretty quickly after that. They would only reference that date. They would still be a little upset about it when they think about it, but what hate perpetuates and is always boiling under their skin and in their spirit and mind, their hatred for Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, the Israelites, because their perpetual hatred for us, the hatred they have for us, you would think that hate that they have for us would be the same level for those Arabs for 9/11, but they let that go. It's because they have a perpetual hatred for us, because that's Jacob and Esau from the womb. We've been battling since the womb. But right now, we're just suffering these things until we get redeemed by Yahweh through sending his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. So Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beasts. So a righteous man, meaning you're going to take care, because the animals are precious, beautiful creatures, and they're like babies, but they're, animals. You're going to take care of them and not be, inhumane toward them. But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. That's why he has a thing called what? Hunting season. And that's why there's a such thing now. Is there a coincidence that he come up with this category called endangered species, the animals? They have a book of endangered species animals. Why are these animals being endangered? Because they're being slaughtered by the cave beast, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. and chiefly with these hunting seasons, right? Always killing and slaughtering animals just for sport. So the wicked, the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And will they obtain mercy for this? No, and that's why when the oppressor has ceased, then the Israelites, even the heathen nations, and the animals, the trees, everything's going to rejoice. Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So that filling the face of the world with cities goes into them colonizing, the colonizers of the earth. So, their daddy opened a tab for hundreds of years, and he left it unpaid. So that bill falls at the feet of his children, and they got to go ahead and take care of that bill. Ezekiel 35 and verse 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So that's when you read up here, even the topic up here, they headlined it, prophecy against Mount Seir. And then right there in verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So it lets you know who Mount Seir is. That's the Edomites. That's the mount name of the Edomites, so-called white race. Saying the same things, in Isaiah 14:21 about they will not rise and build cities anymore. And Ezekiel 25 and verse 12 through 14. So it's going to Edom, the so-called white race. Verse 12. Thus saith the Most High Power Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. So that's the so-called white race destroying so-called African Americans, the tribe of Judah. And that's going into all Israel, because he has destroyed all Israel, but Esau has a special hatred, even more, even amongst the Israelites. His most hated tribe is the so-called black man, because we're the head tribe. That's the tribe that the Messiah, Yahushai, sprung forth out of. And as the Messiah say, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the root, the offspring and the root of David. So he's the first and the last. So verse 13, therefore thus said the Most High Power Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and that's supposed to be their wise city, their wise tribe of Esau Edom, the so-called Germans, because they're the ones that created these thermonuclear missiles. And they even white people, you've heard so-called white people refer to the Germans, that German engineering, because they are the so-called, the wise men of their nation that do the most creations. And like Kobe Bryant, back when he was playing ball, he in the summer, I don't know if he went there multiple summers, but one off season, he went out there and they did a procedure and took out some blood from a knee area, or took out some blood, put it in they got this little device that purifies it and like ramps it up or something. I don't know how it all goes, but they re-injected it back into his knee area. And it's like a super procedure to heal your knee and make it extremely strong, and healthy. So those German scientists, and they know some things, So that's who Teman is. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. Verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh, the Most High Power, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And they're starting to see the vengeance over there. The 3,000 earthquakes in what, 2 days, 48 hours? They're seeing the vengeance. They're seeing that they're so insignificant, and they're shocked with how many earthquakes were steadily hitting that area. So from there we'll go to Job chapter 20 and verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So he's trying to eat up the those Arabs over there, right? But chiefly going into locking down mankind with that digital economy, that device that goes into your hand to buy and sell. So you're going to be in straits. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? So that's that continual stroke, the hammer of the earth. What does a hammer do? Destroy things, annihilate. So how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? That whore that sitteth upon many waters, ruling over the top of everybody. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So they're about to become a desolation in the midst of trying to fill their belly for the last time to enslave mankind digitally. Jeremiah 51 and verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them. So that portion goes into Lot, or the award of the Israelites. It's not like them. Unlike who? The heathen. The award of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, because we're the salt of the earth. Everybody follows our lead, and we create all the inventions and everything. We're the former of all things, and chiefly the 144,000, a particular number of Israelite, angels, which are now living in Israelite bodies today. When they created when they created the earth with the Messiah as the head, when the Most High gave them the blueprint to create the earth in Genesis 1 and 1. So the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai of hosts is his name. And let me just get that real quick. Genesis 1 and 1. It says right here, in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth and the earth. And we get that word, God. It means Allahayim in the Hebrew, as people know it as Elohim, but that's a mistranslation, because there's no E's in the or O's in the Hebrew. It's Allahayim, which means powers. It's plural, and it's letting you know right there. So that lets you know that the word God in Genesis 1 and 1 is plural. Actually, it's supposed to say gods in lowercase letters, lowercase G-O-D-S. Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods. So Psalms 82 and 6 says what? Ye are gods. I have said that ye are gods, but ye shall die like men, because we are now in these everlasting chains of darkness, in this flesh, suffering our punishment for falling, and going off. The sons of God went to the daughters of men, and that caused us to go off. And now we're having to go through this whole thing. And now we're about to get those angelic spiritual bodies again, those of the elect. Let's see, Jeremiah, and the women and children, they're going to get those spiritual bodies too, and of the elect. and death will be swallowed up in victory at when Yahushua returns. Jeremiah 51 and verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua of hosts is his name, and that hosts means armies. The Lord Yahweh of armies. And what armies? The so-called UFOs, the chariots that the Messiah is going to be riding in. You know, he's going to be driving. You're going to have the fathership. And then the other angels of heaven going to be having in their own chariots as well. And yeah, so that's the chariots. Let's see. I forgot what I was going to say on that, but we'll keep on reading. It says verse. Oh yeah, the armies. But yeah, so the armies, Yahushua is going to return in those chariots and take down our enemies and beam up the elect. Verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee is going to the elect. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Because there's going to be people that's going to receive spiritual powers leading up into that salvation, because it's going to be all hell out here, you know, apocalyptic times. And then the Most High is going to turn the fishers into hunters, because right now the men are teaching, and then they're going to become spiritually endowed, you know, spiritual powers to do things according to what the Most High, to the Most High's will. Verse 21, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. And the modern day horse and rider is those F-5 bombers and whatever other high-tech, aircraft, military aircraft that they have in the skies. And the rider, the guy driving those things, right? And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider, and even tanks and everything, air vehicles and the ground vehicles. So, you know, that's about it on that. But, you know, the Most High is about to wrap this thing up, and it's just key and evident now. It's just painfully obvious, you know. So, with that being said, I hope this video was edifying. In the name of Yahushua, to the next video I say, Shalom.